Hi everybody, so what we have for you today is a 6-minute video all about posture. I think my dog's about to join me for this one, so she could obviously demonstrate some perfect doggy posture, and I'll be doing the same with humans. Hi everybody, today I'd like to talk to you about posture. There are lots of discussions within the fitness world and also the physiotherapy world about the importance of good posture, and it's actually highly debatable because there are a lot of people that wander around this world with really quite bad posture and no pain, and equally there is a correlation between people that have bad posture and back pain, knee pain, hip pain. So the verdict really isn't very straightforward. It's a kind of very open to discussion situation to be in, and I've been on lots of courses where they've broken down lordosis, kyphosis, scoliosis, and the different patterns, and personally I'm a little bit of all of those. So I definitely have a lordotic lower back. When I'm stressed, I'm definitely kyphotic, and when I'm in heels, I'm definitely sway back. So despite all the years of training and all the things I know about positioning and posture, my posture isn't perfect. Am I in pain? No. So what I'd like to talk to you about is the importance of looking after your body and the best posture that you can have with the body that you have. So I am going to go through those lordotic and kyphotic postures very, very quickly with you so you can identify them. But I also want to talk to you a little bit more about how you live within your body, because we want you to live in your body in the best possible way, which minimises the risk of injury or overuse for you. So the two kind of bad habits that I get into, I'm going to come onto you, is a lordotic position. So I let my belly hang down, belly, and lower back kind of go into a kind of a dump, kind of a little scoop here. And obviously what that does is it puts enormous load onto my lumbar spine. My lumbar spine feels awful here. I'm pushing my knee joints into hyperextension, and I look several weeks or months pregnant. So this is one of my positions that when I'm not thinking about it, I would do. Another one is that kind of techie one where we're on the phone and we're kyphotic and we're rounded through the body, and the implications for this, of course, is all the neck strain, the shortening of all the muscles across the chest, the over lengthening of all the muscles across the upper back. So these are positions that you might say, yeah, that's me, that's what I do. I know they're two bad habits that I get into. So all I would say to you is that when you're living within your body, when you're in queues, when you're standing for any period of time, when you're sitting for any period of time, think about how you are in your body and look for optimum placement for your body. So what does that actually mean? Ideally, you would be standing with your feet roughly hip distance apart. I'm guessing without a mirror that I'm roughly hip distance apart, and you're looking for your toes to track forward. If you've been in class with me, we've had lots of discussions about this. Quite common with the aging process is for us to start to roll into the inside of the feet and the ankles. That has implications for the inside of the knee. You can see how much weight I'm pushing through my knee joints and into those insides of my hip sockets as well. So when you're standing, if you feel that you're rolling into your knees and you're rolling into the insides of your feet, correct that. Bring that body weight out into the outsides of your feet. So thinking about the feet to begin with, and we'll do more about the feet in other videos, but you want to be able to stand with the feet in good balance, and you should be able to lift your toes. Your weight distribution should be into your heels. So for optimum load in your body, the way nature intended you to be, we should be able to lift our toes without any issue. The knee joint should feel relatively relaxed. So again, for me, I'm a culprit for locking my knees and pushing them backwards. And ideally they should be slightly soft. So that's where I'd look to be. I'm not going to go into neutral and pelvic alignment in this video because it would take too long. But ideally, we would be standing in a position where your pelvis sits directly underneath your ribs. We've talked about hand placement in class. And another thing that I'm very, very guilty of doing is rolling my hands forward. And of course, if you look at that from the front, you can see that encourages that kyphotic position, and that's even more exaggerated if I stand to the side. So if we can bring the hands round so that the middle finger middle finger sits on the middle of the side seam of your trouser, what that's going to remind us to do is to open up that rib cage and lengthen the muscles across the top of the body or across the front of the body. And that's not just good for our posture, but it's good for our respiration as well, because if everything's compressed and restricted here, we're not breathing effectively or fully either. So thinking about getting those hands to line up on the side seams of the trousers. As far as the shoulders are concerned, they should be sliding down towards the waistband. So there's a sense of length between your earlobes and your shoulders rather than your shoulders being up towards your ears. And many of us during the course of the day will find that those shoulders tighten and gradually get higher and higher. For ladies, I appreciate it can feel quite uncomfortable to bring the body into that position. What I'm not suggesting for one moment is that you thrust yourself into a chest position where you're pushing the chest forward. If those hands are on the side seams and the rib cage is relaxed, then that shouldn't be the case. As we come right up to the head, we've been talking about the head in class quite a lot recently because there is a tendency to do one of two things. The first is to roll the head forward, that techie thing where we're on the phone or we're on some kind of device where the head's nodded forward. And the other one is that chin poke where the head's forward. And again, when you're driving, be aware, have you got your head pushed forward? Because that has an enormous potential strain on your neck. We want to have the back of the head resting just very lightly on the back of the headrest so that we know that the head's not pushing forward. So in an ideal world, if we were to look at you side on and have a plumb line, there would be a vertical line thereabouts between your earlobe, the outside of your shoulder, the outside of your hip, and the outside of your ankle. And that would be an optimum ideal. So we'll go through posture in some other videos in a little bit more detail, and I'll go through some exercises that we can do specifically to improve posture. But for now, what I want you to think about is looking after your body that you live in the way that you move and stand. So just by the way that we stand, when we're waiting for the kettle to boil, when we're waiting in a queue, if we're aware of that, that can start to make those slight differences to how our body feels and how our body performs. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.